Yo, here we are. Oh my god. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Welcome to the first episode of the Caffiend Club. You are now officially a member. Welcome. Pour yourself a cup, sit on down, and let's go to town here. So what are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? The first episode. What do you talk about in a first episode? Well, you know what? There's some great things going on today. It's Friday. It's the last day of April. You know, we're heading into May. We're heading into that nice spring weather. I got my second dose of Pfizer. Going to be vaccinated officially in 2 weeks. Finally, you know, 2021 is looking up. It's the year of change. It's the year of new beginnings. You know, I hate to be that cliche guy and, you know, talk about, oh, new year, new me. No, I'm still the same old me, but like I said, just this year is definitely it's definitely looking up. It's looking a lot more positive than compared to 2021. I mean, geez, my high school years were way more positive than 2021. So anyway, yeah, like I said, it's Friday, April 30th, and we're doing it. We're doing it live. What are we talking about? Well, we got some new music. As many people may know, Friday seems to be the new music day. We got 2 new singles that I'm really looking forward to talking about. So let's get into it. All right, so I don't know where to begin. I'm just too excited. I'm like coming off the high of doing this finally for the first time ever, actually putting together an episode of a podcast. So yeah, I'm just riding on the high of that. I might be a little dopey from, you know, the Pfizer vaccine. I don't know. Waiting on my superpowers to kick in. Very excited for those. We'll report on that later on. Other than that, man, I'm riding on the high of these 2 songs that I'm about to talk about. I just don't know which one to start with. You know what? Let's start with Cane Hill. Okay, Cane Hill is a band from New Orleans, or at least Louisiana. I'm pretty sure it's New Orleans. So their first self-titled EP came out in 2015. They've been grinding since then. They're kind of like a new metalcore. They're really kind of their own thing, and that's what I've always loved about them, is that they have their own sound to them. It's this combination of all of their influences, you know. In their earlier work, you can hear a lot of, like I said, a lot of that new metal stuff, a lot of Korn, some like early Marilyn Manson. Pantera's a huge influence on these guys. Alice in Chains, they have like a grungy new metal, heavy metal feel to them. I really don't know how to describe them. Like I said, they're their own unique thing, and that's what I love about them. Their debut, Smile, their full debut, is one of my favorite albums for the longest time. I discovered them, I think I was just scrolling on YouTube, and I might have found their EP after Alternative Press did one of their yearly polls for their award show. They put up Cane Hill's single Time Bomb up on there, and you know, I checked them out and I was like, yeah, these guys are cool, you know, they're catchy. Like I said, they got that new metal vibe going in there. They had some like turntable scratching type stuff, lots of breakdowns, you know, but I kind of forgot about them. You know, they're kind of just in the back of my head until, God, I want to say it was like 2016. You know, the summer of 2016, I think briefly after their debut album, Smile, dropped, I was just, you know, hanging out, perusing on YouTube, and in my recommendeds was their song, You're So Wonderful. I was like, yeah, this looks kind of cool. I remember checking out these guys and, you know, kind of digging them, so let's see what they're up to. Let's see what they got to offer. I clicked it, and man, I was just transported into this world of this kind of gothic, like I said, new metal ballad, and I loved it. I thought it was, you know, the most amazing original thing I've ever heard. I'm pretty sure I went out that day and picked up the album and like played it. And that fall, there was some stuff that I was going through, and I kept listening to You're So Wonderful, and I thought it was just because I liked the song. I thought, you know, it was a good song. It's my first experience with Cane Hill. You know, it was, you know, this whole new beginning, this whole new obsession that I had for this band. Only later to find out, listening back to the song a couple months after that, some of the stuff that I was going through kind of was related through the song. I thought that was really interesting, and it made me love it even more. So like I said, I played that record over and over and over until they released their second sophomore album, Too Far Gone. And I remember loving that as well. They went personal with it. They talked about, how they're a young band and they got really into the drug scene, doing acid and smoking tons of weed, and just how much it really ruined a lot of their relationships and a lot of their lives. And they missed out on, that experience of being a young band and the high of being discovered for the first time and watching their career start to take off. They kind of missed out on a lot of that because they were caught up in the drugs and the partying and all that. So that's what they talked about on their sophomore album, and I loved it. Like I said, I love the fact that they're being personal. I like when artists get personal about and get honest about what they're going through and find unique and strong ways to convey that through their music. They also had a great song on there called Erased, which was about I believe their drummer Devin's grandfather going through either Alzheimer's or dementia. Man, that track hit really hard and really, really close to home. Thankfully, I've never had to experience that, but just how well they conveyed those feelings, I was able to understand roughly what it was like to have a loved one go through those things. So like I said, really loved that debut album, the sophomore album, and then they went and they pulled out this out of nowhere. They pulled out this EP that was way off the beaten path for these guys. Like, it was not heavy at all. Well, it's heavy lyrically, but in terms of sound, it was very stripped down. It was acoustic. They had some 808s thrown in there. They had some ballads thrown in there. Really, really different, but they nailed it. Like, it was so good. They nailed this emotional side of them perfectly. It worked. And I guess their inspiration behind this was Alice in Chains. Like I said, big influence for these guys. Alice in Chains had an EP. I believe it was the Jar of Flies EP, where they went and they stripped down some songs and went acoustic and did more softer things. And going off of that influence, that's what Cane Hill wants to do with their Kill the Sun EP, which I immediately obviously picked that up, jammed the hell out of it, absolutely loved it. And now, over the course of the past year, I want to say, they've been hinting at new music, writing new music, and at the beginning of this year, they put out Crew de la Mort Part 1, or Volume 1, excuse me. That contained a couple of songs. I think it was 3 altogether. Yeah, 3 songs. So we have Power of the High, great song, really, really trippy, really heavy. Kill Me, which I loved. Actually that song hit really hard for me because, once again, this band, I don't know how they do it, but they released this song when I was, again, going through some stuff. I just found out that my uncle was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And that morning, Cane Hill released their single Kill Me from Crew de la Mort Volume 1. And I listened to it and I was like, it's pretty good. And then I found out, that news about my uncle, and, I just immediately went to listening to music to kind of cope with everything. Clicked on that song again, listened to it, followed along with the lyrics, and I was like, oh my God, it just hit so personally. And then after that, they released the final 3rd track to Volume 1, God is the Enemy. And this one, I don't know, man. Leading up to it, they're hinting at what they're going to talk about. They're going for that, kind of angsty, to hell with God type thing. And I was really nervous that they were going to do some like cheesy, cliche, corny, like I said, angsty heavy song about, screw God and all that. And unfortunately, that's exactly what they released, and I was so let down. I wanted to like it, and I tried to convince myself that it was catchy and that, high school me might have loved this song, but I couldn't do it. I hated it. I hated them for it. Like I said, I know that's probably really toxic, but so yeah, I was just so infuriated that they went and they did this corny, cheesy, God is the Enemy track. I couldn't stand it, so I stopped listening to them. I'm not gonna lie to you, I stopped listening to them for a while, and then they so obviously, like I previously said, there's a Volume 1, which means there has to be a Volume 2. So recently they've been teasing that they're working on Volume 2. They got some songs coming out, and I'm nervous, man. Like, I'm over here, I'm sweating. I'm like, I hope that this isn't another, silly, stupid, corny ass, album. I hope that, they redeem themselves in my eyes with this. And I know that's kind of maybe a pretentious thing to say, redeem themselves in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like your favorite artists, they go and they let you down because you have high hopes and you know how good they can be, and then they're not that good. That's really what it is. You know that they can be way better than that, and they have been way better than that. And you would think with each release they get better, and then they don't. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Yeah, they're teasing this new song. They just dropped it today. It's called Blood and Honey. It's part 1 of volume 2 of Crew de la Mort. Gave it a listen, and I loved it. I loved it. You know what? They totally redeemed themselves. They went and in this one song, they did everything. They put everything that they're good at into this one song. They had James, their guitarist, had his awesome ballad-like solo. They had, the singing, the passionate singing, the poetic lyrics that Whit is so good at, plus, the heaviness. There's a breakdown in there. There's some screaming. It was good. Like I said, they really redeemed themselves. They pulled out all the stops, everything that they're good at, they finally threw into one track. So I hope this is it. I hope that Crew de la Mort Volume 2 is, maybe it'll show the softer side. Volume 1 had all the bangers, and now maybe Volume 2 will be a little bit more of the emotional side. I don't know. I guess, we'll have to wait and see. I'm assuming that they'll probably release 2 more singles, and then that'll be, Volume 2 all together for this year, 2021. They'll have Crew de la Mort Volume 1, Volume 2, and it'll be this 6-song joint EP, I guess. I don't know. Either way, really looking forward to it now. Really happy that, they redeemed themselves and they went and they were as good as I knew that they could be. Like I said, you find those bands and those musicians and those artists that you really cling to. You form this relationship with them, and you love watching them succeed and watching them grow, especially if you're finding them when they're just starting out. And then, as they're coming up, they're getting better and better, and you're just hoping for the best for them. You want the best for them. And then sometimes they, when they let you down, it really, you like take it personal. I know you shouldn't. I know that's silly, but you do. You just really take it personal. And with God as the enemy, I took that personal, not from a religious standpoint or anything, just from the standpoint of being a fan and knowing that Cane Hill can be much better than they were on that song. So yeah, Blood and Honey, Part 1 from Crew de la Mort, Volume 2, Cane Hill, dropped today. Check it out. Give it a listen. If you're into metalcore, if you're into new metal, if you're into heavy music in general, it's got everything that you want, man. I mean, there's no way that you cannot like it. So yeah, there's my full review. Those are my thoughts on Blood and Honey Part 1 by Cane Hill with our new Music Friday. Continuing along of this tangent, so Cane Hill, like I said, really, I formed a relationship with this band. They became really personal to me, and I followed them on all their socials, all of their personal socials, the band socials, all of that. And one day, Whit, their vocalist, was posting about this band. He sometimes, shouts out a couple bands or some stuff that he's listening to. And the one day I was just scrolling Twitter, just hanging out. And he posted this video. I forget what the caption was for it, what he said, but anyway, it got my attention. It was this band called Spiritbox for their song Blessed Be. So I clicked on it. I was like, all right, if Whit thinks it's good, it's got to be good. I clicked on it, and oh my god, was it like, I can't describe Spiritbox as a band. But I'm going to go ahead and try to anyway. So Spiritbox is a heavy music band. I can't even label them as any sort of genre, as metalcore or, some people say progressive metal, anything like that. Like I can't label them. They're just a heavy music band because they're so unique and they're just doing their own thing. So yeah, they're a heavy band from Vancouver Island, Canada. And, that just makes sense right there. They're from Canada. They got to be good because Canada has all the good exports. I mean, Letterkenny, we got maple syrup, Yeah, Canada just rules. And Spiritbox is another example of why Canada rules. So it's, like I said, they're a heavy music band composing of their bassist, Bill Crook, guitarist, Mike Stringer, and the absolute queen and goddess, Courtney LaPlante. I've been simping over her all day long ever since I heard this single. I mean, ever since I heard Spiritbox, I was absolutely just infatuated with her. But then she did these absolutely awesome one takes on YouTube of their songs Rule of Nines and Holy Roller. You got to check them out. She does all the vocals, one take, absolutely flawless. She is the perfect human being. So yeah, what's really cool about this band is that Mike Stringer, the guitarist, and Courtney, the vocalist, they're actually a husband and wife duo. So they're very do-it-yourself. Like a couple of their first music videos, and I'm pretty sure even one of their latest ones, Holy Roller, was done completely by themselves. And they are really, really well done finesse piece of video. They have a new song. It's called Circle With Me, and it is amazing. It's everything that this band does well put into one song. It's got the melodic and entrancing singing from Courtney. You walk into it and she's like a siren. She pulls you in with this melodic, poetic, beautiful, passionate singing, grabs you by the throat and drags you down to your destruction. She absolutely destroys the song. She absolutely destroys your soul. She is amazing. Okay, sweating over here. I gotta, whew. Anyway, and we're back. So yeah, Circle With Me, absolutely phenomenal track. These guys, if you haven't heard of Spiritbox yet, obviously check them out. But even if you haven't heard of them and you don't check them out, you're gonna hear about them because they are just coming for the crown of heavy music. Actually, they're coming for the altar. If you listen to Circle With Me, it's got perfect verse right before the brutal breakdown in which Courtney so eloquently says, "I climb the altar and I claim my place as God." I climb the altar and I claim my place as God. Boom! And then into the chorus. I'm not even going to attempt to sing it because I can't do it as good as she can. So yeah, just check out that track. They should be releasing a debut full-length album. They don't have a full album out yet. This band has been doing it for a couple years now. They have a collection of songs, singles. They have, I think it's an EP. They might even have 2 EPs. But they don't have a full album yet. That's hopefully coming in 2021. There's 2 singles. Circle With Me is the latest, and then there was one prior to that called Constance. What a soul-crushing song. I mean, again, absolutely beautiful, super emotional, and again, they throw in just a brutal breakdown in there, but instead of wanting to mosh, you just want to cry. You just start sobbing. You have to watch the video. You have to follow along with the lyrics. It is absolutely just such a tear-jerking, emotional, incredibly beautiful song and video. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for stopping into the Caffiend Club. It's been awesome hanging out, going off about some new music releases. Can't wait for what's left in store. I mean, 2021 has been so gracious to us in terms of new music. Shout out to Gojira. There's a new Gojira album out today as well. Absolutely amazing. They just keep getting better and better and better with each record. Again, it's Gojira to the core. If you listen to Gojira, you're going to love the album. It's got the environmental messages in there. It's got some tribal stuff going on. Really, really cool stuff. Really great album. Like I said, 2021 has been it. It's been the year. We got a new Brockhampton album, which was phenomenal. Roadrunner, the light is worth the wait, and it definitely was. I'm excited. I am so pumped to be back on here ASAP. So yeah, thanks for coming in. Check out the new Cane Hill song. Check out the new Spiritbox. And just, you know what? Enjoy music that you like, man. It doesn't matter what other people think. If you think it's good, then it's good. That's all that matters. I'm your host, Darren Weber, and I'll leave you with this quote. Instead of worrying and agonizing, move forward constructively. Catch you next time.